Hey, now we won't fall the fuck through.
That's exactly what John said. And then he looked at me and said, well, we won't fall through. You weren't going to fall through. It's like, I didn't know I should have been scared of falling through the
Girl,
porch.
we didn't either. Not until they took those slats out and we were like, oh, so that's what it looks like under there.
It was a little soft and squishy.
Just a little
Wild.
soft and supple, honey. More like it. Is this recording?
Oh, no. That's the intro. That's the intro. That's the intro. That's the intro.
This is the earliest we have ever recorded a podcast.
I think so. That hungover episode felt really early, but it wasn't. That was, I think, one of the earlier ones. Because that was at like 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Now it's 11 in the morning. Look at us.
I know. We debated drinking.
We did. And then we were like, well, we've got a long day ahead of us.
Yeah.
We should. So, you know.
Got patience, yo, baby. Patience,
Skittles has got her coffee. I've got my Dr. Pepper. And
this coffee better fix me.
we're ready to record episode 15.
It's a good number, solid number.
I love rounds of 5. Not
Yes,
quinceañera,
I
you
do like
stupid
5s.
bitch.
Yeah. Okay. How do you...
Go ahead. Ask the question.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. What's your comfort level with moving the volume? Do you do 2s or 5s? Or are you okay with either, but it has to be a 2 or a 5?
It has to be even numbers unless it's multiples of 5.
Okay, me too.
What happened to
Connor
us?
will put that bitch on like 29 and I'll be like, absolutely not. I'm going 85 miles an hour on the interstate, but if I see that he's got it on not a 2 or a 5...
This feels so targeting.
I'll kill both of us. 19? What are you doing? 19, 20 is right there.
And Aaron will put that shit literally on like 13. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. What? 13?
12
Yeah.
is right there.
Yeah. Ugh. Unacceptable.
Welcome back to the Mix Match podcast. I'm Kalana.
And I'm Skittles. What's your volume comfort level?
Please tell us in the chats. We would like to know. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What? Okay, so now somebody needs to study us. What happened in early childhood that it has to be
I do
even
wanna know,
numbers
'cause
or multiples of 5?
I don't know. Well, it's funny because my favorite number is 11, which is an unacceptable volume number, but...
So the volume can't even be on 11, your favorite
No.
number. It has
No.
to be.
I will say I have had to learn to make exceptions because sometimes in my car, this might just me getting older, because in my past cars, the volume stayed in the 20s usually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now I don't ever let it pass 25 unless I'm listening to, unfortunately for some reason, podcasts play at a whisper.
Same.
So I have to play a podcast at like 40.
Same.
But music, right now I play most of my music between 10 and 20. But sometimes I'm overstimulated. I'm like, I got to go down to like 7 or 8.
So if I'm in the car,
That's getting older. I'm like, that's too
I
loud.
don't listen to anything. Like if
What?
I'm listening to something, I'm listening to a podcast. I don't listen to music in the car. Unless it's a road
We
trip.
should study that.
Unless it's a road trip. Like if I'm commuting around town, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to hear
I respect
while
that.
I'm riding
That's very
to the
funny.
Kroger.
I drove here today listening to my house podcast or playlist. That's background. Well, I tried to listen to my house music on the way here, and then Connor was like, I'm going to play every song Doechie's ever released on the way here.
Well, see, and my problem is background music for me is just Corelli or Vivaldi or some just Baroque music.
I wish he'd throw some of that in the mix. That'd be great. I don't know.
Anyway.
I get it though. Sometimes the music is a little too much. I think that's why I have like some like chill playlist, or sometimes I'll just leave my phone in like lo-fi. So when I'm driving around, it's just whatever.
It's definitely probably just overstimulated.
Well, and especially sometimes if you are like running around doing errands or whatever, you're in and out of your car, you're not even listening to the full song.
Exactly.
Like my commute to work is only like 3-5 minutes.
Right.
Like I live close to the coffee shop, and I live close to Kroger where I get all my groceries, and I live close to Avondale where we do the shows. So I'm not getting a full song in most of the time, you know?
Normally I start a podcast on the way to work.
Oh, that's crazy too, listening to like 5 minutes of a podcast.
well, but then
It's
I
all
have
like
to
chunks.
walk from the parking
You
deck.
do, that helps, yeah.
So, you know.
My
I
commute
can
is
listen
way
to
too
it
short.
on the way to the walking from the parking deck.
I can listen
Which
to a TikTok
apparently
on the way
is
to
a
work.
10-minute walk because every time I get to my office, my watch is like, "Are you doing
Are
a
you
workout?"
walking? Yeah.
And I'm like,
that.
"Yes, I am." And it's like, "Record 10-minute walk." Yes,
Love
you
that.
will. End workout. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. I sure did walk 10 minutes. Thank you.
I mean,
I'm fitness.
I didn't know it was a 10-minute walk, but thank you, Apple Watch, for telling me. I appreciate that.
Did we do the intro? We did the intro.
We did the intro.
I-
Oh my God, I cannot breathe.
Oh,
That's
God.
so funny. We should record this early more often because you are on it. and
It's because all I've had today, I was running late. I forgot to do my protein shake or eat anything. So my breakfast was, I got gas and realized I didn't have the protein shake. And so I was like, while I'm getting gas, I was like, Connor, go in the Circle K, get me one of them little chicken sandwiches or whatever.
chicken sandwich.
Well, apparently it's Memorial Day and they ain't cooking none of the
They
foods.
didn't cook their breakfast.
Yeah. Which is proof that they are actually doing something resembling cooking at the Circle K because there was none of the prepared foods out.
Oh.
So ovens off, microwaves off.
They said not today.
Yeah. So he got me the next best thing, which is a bag of Gummy Nerds clusters and a pickle and a Coke. I did ask for the Coke. That was part of the original order. So on the way here, I didn't eat the gummy clusters because I'd be like, that's acid reflux to eat that on an empty stomach. I love the gummy clusters, but that's not a.
We're women of a certain age.
They bite back. They bite back. So I ate the pickle on the way here, which is why I asked you if you had snacks because I was like, I gotta.
And then
eat
what did you
something.
have when you got
I
here?
had a single, like the little pecan wheel, and then I had a single chicken leg.
Because we cannot in this house. We can't go to Winn-Dixie without picking up a box of fried chicken.
They whisper, they call to you.
And
I see the rotisserie chickens when I go to Kroger, and
I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, nothing is stopping you and your best friend from grabbing a rotisserie chicken and going to sit on the beach to eat it. And I was like, nothing is stopping
what's
that.
stopping me is one, that I don't like beaches, and two, that Sydney and I would each need our own rotisserie chicken.
I was just thinking that. I was like,
Yeah.
Aaron would need his
Sydney's
rotisserie
gonna want her
chicken
own rotisserie
because
chicken.
he's gonna want the traditional or like maybe the seasoned, and I'm gonna want the barbecue one.
Ooh, that's tough. I forget there's options. Should we get to the actual episode content?
I guess that's a good segue since I got a cut right there. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Drumstick, Breakfast of Champions, fuck dolphins. Anyways, now on to the.
Not fuck
Yeah.
dolphins. Those
Don't
poor
leave your
dolphins.
volume at 17. I will personally come find you.
Listen, I will hunt you down for that.
That is just such a dark-sided number. Why would you do that?
We are stupid.
This is going to be another minute episode. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we have an outline.
Yeah. We do have an outline. We had talking points.
We have not followed it yet.
It's honestly kind of good that we can vamp for this long.
Well, it's good practice
For the 7 hours we're going to
yes.
be talking.
But we have to put our teacher filters on.
Yeah, okay.
No cussing.
I can talk about dolphins.
We just can't say fuck dolphins.
Frick dolphins.
Not your
working on
middle
it.
school.
Yeah.
Frick those dolphins.
Listen, I did not swear until I turned 18, so I got it.
Really?
Yeah, my dad told me I couldn't, and I'm
Interesting.
fucking a goody two shoes. So I didn't swear until I turned 18.
Oh.
And then it was like slow. And then now, of course, I work in nightlife. So
It's fluid vocabulary.
Yeah, it is. Well, and my dad is a heavy swearer. So it was never like I didn't hear those words. It was just like those words aren't for you. You're not old enough.
Oh, I never heard my parents cuss.
Oh, no, both of my parents swore. My stepmom swears. Yeah.
I may have heard my mom say
didn't-
shit once or twice.
My dad didn't censor what we watched really either, or music we listened to. So like I listened to
Must
music
be
with swear words.
nice. Must be nice.
I did listen. For the first many years of my life, it was very Kids Bop. So But after my
Listen, those are the worst songs ever. Some of those lyrics
they
they
used
changed
to
stuff
be
to.
better. I think they're trying
Oh
too
my
hard to be
God.
cool now.
It's terrible.
Not everything needs to be Kids Bop covered. If the whole content of the song,
If you have to completely talk about cheese
Yeah.
instead of
it's
sex,
one thing to like take a fun song about like being out with your girlfriends or whatever and turn
Right.
it into something appropriate.
Right.
But some of these songs just don't need to be covered.
some of
by
these songs
Kids Bop.
talking about fucking,
Well, and then
and you over here talking about making friends.
all you're doing
eating
is
something.
inviting those kids to find
Look up
the
the
original
real song. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty, so you did a little thing. We did a little thing. I was
Apparently-
there. I didn't really do much.
You
but
was judging, bitch.
I did.
You had
I
judged your
did.
first pageant.
that was exciting. But yes, we had the Pride on the Plains pageant.
Woohoo. I am now your current rating mixed Pride on the Plains. I have joined the family with Skittles.
I know because I'm the 2023.
Yes.
I was trying to remember what my name badge
I
said.
had to
That's
look-
how I check. I have to look at my name badge and be like, what year is on this bitch?
I had to look it up earlier because Ash needed to know. And I
Love
was
that.
like,
Yeah.
Instagram, hold on.
Yeah, Dakota's 2022. I'm 2023. And then
Idol.
Idol's 2024. You're 2025.
Woo, woo.
Maybe I think we should try and convince Buttons to. She did newcomer. I think we should try and get her to do mix.
I agree with that. And then I think
But I
also-
think she also hated it.
I think Buttons hated the pageant.
Yeah,
and was
which
like,
is funny
"I
because
am
she
not doing that
blew
again."
it out the water when she did it.
It was perfection.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah. But no, we'd had a little pageant.
It was
and you
fun.
won a little hat, another hat for your bookshelf full of hats, by the way.
It was, I really wish I would have had at least one competitor.
I know, it really did suck. I mean, I knew you were going to bring a good package, but it is always like, it's just better to
Right.
like have at least somebody else to be like, you get to see what they're bringing. I don't know. The mindset is different if you are
really
competing
is.
in a category by yourself
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of situation.
Well, and then
there are some pageants though where you still have to reach a
You
score
still have to-
minimum.
yeah.
I don't think Pride on the Plains is big enough to have that.
no,
yet.
they're not.
But
I still scored the highest of all the.
I did. I read
all
it.
the-
I read it.
I'll cut that out.
No, you can keep it in. I read every year. I read the full breakdown. I
Oh,
want to
me
know.
too. I'm
Yeah,
nosy.
I want to. Yeah,
I am no.
I want to know.
Z.
And I have all of my score sheets from everything I've ever done, including, by the way, because I reread through some of them so that I could kind of get in that mindset of like, this is what judges are looking for.
Right.
These are the kinds of things they were writing. Because I have never judged anything.
So you
in
could go
like
back
that
and
manner.
look
I was
and
like,
be
what are they looking for? What would be like too mean or too nice? Like, what's
Yeah.
what should I be looking for and writing down? But I found the very first Pride on the Plains pageant, which we both did.
Yeah,
I
oof.
was the lovely fifth alternate.
Oof.
I
I think I was fourth alternate.
well, it was
I think I was right there with you.
me, Cora, Addison.
There was one more, right?
There was one more, I think. There's a picture of all of us holding hands, all looking busted. We need to find that and share
That's
that.
a picture we need to share.
I find it every like once or twice a year, and I'm like, oh,
When it comes back
yeah.
up, save that shit.
It'd be good. But no, I think there was 4 or 5 of us. Yeah. So I found those scorecards,
Right.
and then I found newcomer. I couldn't find my mixed Pride on the Plains, but I also was running. I had a manic breakdown because I miscalculated my outfit, or I overthought about my outfit for judging, and so I ate up the time that I was supposed to use to like take a shower, brush my teeth, like
Relax.
glue my brows down, and
Yeah.
instead I was just like, okay, I got to do makeup right now.
Now, immediately.
Yeah, so I read through something, but I found my Royal Drag Race
Oh?
cards. I did not read those
Oh.
because it was a different competition format. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, I didn't. First of all, I couldn't remember that there were score sheets.
I didn't
for
know
that.
we gave those out.
There are score sheets, and I should look at them so that we can use
I bet
them
they're terrible.
for inspiration for other shit. I do not know. I
bet they're
I had lots
terrible.
of feelings about that whole competition. That was
Put
but
a
yeah,
pin in that.
we had a lovely yeah.
The pageant was very well done. I thought
Yeah.
everything looked great.
I love this venue.
The venue was
Great. I didn't get to see
fantastic.
the entire like back half of like the dressing space, so I don't know from a
it was a
contestant
big ass
standpoint.
room.
Yeah,
There was enough space for all of us.
that's good.
And it's basically the theater's like clothes closet.
Yeah,
So even with their clothes in there and
Yeah.
props and stuff, we still all were able to fit back there
that's really
fine.
good.
And Jax and Queen were back there too.
Yeah,
So all the contestants plus them,
No,
and
I
we
was
still
put-
had room.
I was put
we
in
could have
another
put
room.
2 or 3 more people. You were on the other side.
I
of the
was put in
stage.
another room. I just didn't go behind any curtain until I was directed because I was like, I don't know. I've never been in this venue before, so
I don't
let me
wanna get
just
lost.
let me just come in and be like, "Hey, it's me.
Hi,
Where do
everybody."
you want me? All I need to do is pin my crown on, and I'll sit wherever you
Where
tell
am I
me."
gonna put?
Yeah,
Where y'all gonna put me? Thank
yeah.
you.
They said they had Red Bull for me. They did.
That's all you
Yeah.
needed.
I was like,
And
"That's
you were
beautiful.
ready.
A Red Bull and a water, and I'm ready. Where's my pen?"
No, I haven't read my judges sheets yet, but I will because
That's smart. I never.
I take
I
a
don't.
minute to just debrief.
I don't
and
read them the night of.
relax.
I think
No.
the very
I
first
let it
part of
get
the
out of
Plains
my
pageant,
head, and then I come back to it.
very first part of the Plains pageant, I think I read like the first sheet or two, and I was like, "Oh, I hate this," and I
It'll
think I
probably be a
didn't read them for
couple
like
of
a
months
week.
before I go and look at
Yeah.
it. Because I'm
yeah.
not gonna use. I'll use this packet again,
Yeah,
especially that presentation because I do want to do cap.
yeah,
I don't know, next year, the year after, eventually.
at some point.
At some point.
Yeah,
But that presentation can definitely be used for Kat.
absolutely.
So she's gonna stay in the closet. I just feel like I need to update my evening wear. I've worn that enough,
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
pageants. It's time for something different, something new. And then I want to do more of a production talent
Yeah,
instead of a solo talent,
Yeah.
singing talent.
that's
I still
a
want to
whole-
sing,
but you want
but I want
You
I
want
want other actors on
props and
stage
things.
with me.
and-
Yeah, I want.
that's where things get crazy.
Yeah, I basically want to do like Tell Me Ernest,
Yeah.
like the whole scene,
Yeah.
on stage.
So you're definitely gonna
and
need
sing it live.
costuming and what is that, 3 or
Costuming,
4 people?
It's 4 people if you include the assistant, which I want to because
Yeah,
they
do it right.
They
Full out.
I want it to look like
Yeah.
the Broadway production,
Yeah.
like number.
If you're gonna do it,
the
do
blocking,
it.
yeah. And if
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it,
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But yes, the pageant was fun.
It was cute. It was cute.
It was. It was. I'm glad it's over.
Yes. Well, especially because it got delayed because of the tornadoes.
And I was like ready to
Yeah.
do it, and then I had to wait 2 more months.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah. Talking with Fruit Bat since the delay has just been it's been like eating her up.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't imagine.
Oh, by the way,
'cause
congrats, Fruit Bat.
Yes, my daughter
Newcomer.
is Pride on Plains newcomer.
Pride on the Plains.
Very exciting. Yes, big win for the House of Vomit. But yeah, I psych myself out for a regular show and definitely for all of like the
Yeah.
pageant competitions I've done. I can't imagine being ready and the day of the pageant being told there's a severe chance of like bad thunderstorms and potentially tornadoes. And there were tornadoes. They missed us, but there people did die that weekend.
And
So
it
it
was
is
good to
good that
take
we
it off.
delayed it, but I can't imagine like being like all of your shit is packed up in crates and then it's like just kidding.
Right. It was very nice to see Miss Chloe Von Trapp throw her
I
name in
know.
the hat.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chloe, on your win as Miss Pride on the Plains.
I need that rainbow wig she wore.
Bitch.
That wig was beautiful.
That her
Rainbow wigs have a tendency to come across as gaudy, but if you can get them like
layered correctly.
just right,
Well,
it
you know she's
is
a hairstylist.
Well,
Yeah.
girl, give me that wig. Gimme.
But she probably bought that.
Gimme.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, she could have still styled it herself.
could,
if she
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it.
It probably was a pain in the ass, I'm sure.
On
And
all
then-
wigs a pain in the ass.
So I think we have some Alabama drag history that has also been made because Jax is reigning as Mr. Pride on the Plains twice.
They said we already bought the crown, so you're just gonna.
But also, I think he's reigning Renaissance,
He is Renaissance. We talked about it after the end
and
of
he's
the
going to
night.
do it again next year.
I think so.
So he's going to re-reign twice over 2
Busy.
Mr. titles.
Busy.
Well, he just is so good at what he does.
He is.
And
Bless his heart for coming in. He came in, was given the script, didn't have time to so he's reading the script live and trying
Bless
to host.
his heart.
And the script is also not 100% the format of the show because there were last minute changes. So I'm sure there's things penciled in. There's always things penciled in.
Always things
got
penciled
moved
in.
around or whatever. You have to kill everything that says anything about Mr. because nobody competed. So you have
Right.
to scratch out all of those sections in the script, and you're hosting a pageant is
It's way
very
different.
different than, and
Way
I've
different.
hosted I've hosted the pageant once, and I've hosted or participated in as entertainment for pageants before. It's the format is different, and as a host, you're controlling you're helping control the pacing and the tempo. You have to like pay attention to like the judges and make sure things are moving. You want to move quickly, but not too quickly. You can't move too slow because then everyone's waiting on you, talking for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Sometimes you need the filler time, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
You know, I did enjoy, they kind of rearranged the order of the pageant.
Yeah.
A lot of pageants that I've done, it's been presentation, evening wear, talent. And they did presentation, talent, evening wear at the end, which was nice because then I didn't have to change for crowning. I just
You're already in
your evening
That's really
wear.
smart, actually. It can speed up that whole process.
But a lot of people do like to change into a different crowning
yeah,
outfit, which I understand. But I didn't feel like it.
I think for newcomer, I brought a different outfit for crowning. And then I think for mix, I put back on what I wore.
Well, listen.
But because for my talent, wait.
I should have tried that evening wear outfit on first.
Yeah.
Because she was a little tight in the shoulders. Mama's been working out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. My titties
It's all
grew
the
or
gardening.
something. It's all the gardening.
Swole for moving that, all the mulch and the dirt.
From
and
the hoeing, you know.
Well.
Anyway, God bless. But I went to pull that bitch up over my shoulder and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have to work with it today. Yeah. I can't believe Pride Month is literally next week.
Knocking at the door.
Oof.
Knocking at the door.
And now
when this comes out, it will be June, won't it?
It's this Friday, so the 30th?
What's Friday? Friday is the 30th.
Friday
yeah,
the
so
30th.
Basically, almost. There's 31 days.
We're right there. Speaking of, we do have a show at Avondale's on
the 31st,
Saturday, March.
Yes, Y2 Gay.
March.
We've
Did
been
you
talking
hear
about
me?
the show for forever. March?
I said March. May. What is wrong with me?
Not March.
Saturday, May 31st, Y2 Gay. Pew, pew, pew.
Don't take us back to March.
Special guest Lauren Lou.
I know, I'm excited.
Yeah.
She has like
She about to turn the
12
fucking
abs.
party. Anyway, but yeah, the
We'll figure
pageant
it
was
out.
fun.
I mean, I loved what you did.
Thank you.
I loved
you.
what everyone did.
Well,
Judging
also-
is kind of hard.
And I feel like I am my biggest critic, and I know what I did right and what I did wrong on that stage.
Yeah.
And so when I go, there is no judge's comment that's going to hurt my feelings because I have already hurt my feelings.
Yep. And because it got delayed, you've been hurting your feelings for longer.
Well, and then I walked off that stage after presentation and I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Because like my breath just gave out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but anyway.
The nerves get you. That was the that was one of the things that got a lot of people actually was just like a nerves.
I guess I just
with the
didn't
talking.
realize how nervous I was until I was out there in front of y'all with the lights on and the mic in my hand, and I was like, "Ha!
Yeah,
I have to
it's
remember
happening.
my speech."
Yeah.
Ha!
And listen, that's honestly kudos to everybody who does pageanting and gets nervous. Like, listen, you and I host things.
Right.
That's our job. Like
And
we're
it's off the
supposed
cuff.
to be
We just,
well spoken on the
know.
microphone. And even
But
we
give
still
me a script,
we
bitch. I'm
still
gonna
mess up
stumble over
sometimes
that.
and get nervous. Yeah, it happens. You're allowed to get nervous, and so if we get nervous,
Right.
and you never hold a microphone,
Exactly.
it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was everyone's weakest point was the
That
I have to talk into
presentation
a
speech,
microphone.
Yeah. It was like, oh fuck, now I gotta speak.
It sucks. It's
Well,
very weird.
And then I went to put my
and
umbrella
nobody
down.
gives you a format either. You just
I was like, I put my umbrella down and I turned around, expecting a microphone to be there.
Yep.
And Jax was on the other side of the stage, and so I'm running to the other side of the stage to grab the microphone.
And then later, that
Hoofing it.
stage made a cracking noise, and so we all
Girl.
just stayed away from that side of the stage. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, fun pageant. Loved
It was good. It was good.
Congrats,
There was so much
everybody.
live singing.
I was here for the
A
live
lot of
singing.
live singing. It's kind of cool because
Judges, I think judges prefer a live talent over
yes,
a lip sync production. Like even if that live talent is playing the drums
Yeah.
or playing the violin or mandolin
I think
or
it's just
something.
because like lip syncing is sort of like the default activity for
Yes.
drag. It's cool to be like, what else can you do?
But now, like, don't get me wrong. If you come out there and bust down that lip sync,
Some people are just really
They're-
good at a lip sync. You know what I mean?
Paris Campbell's EOY talent,
Yeah.
the year she won,
Yeah.
is ingrained in my
I think
brain.
about Sasha Colby's Continental.
It's like some lip syncs
or just
are
really
just
Sasha Colby just as a lip syncer.
Yes.
She
fucking Latrice Royale.
Yes.
God,
some people just
stand
they
there.
have such a delivery of emotion. Sasha Colby knows every individual muscle fiber in her body and her face.
And she knows every beat and little melody blip in that song. And she's going to move her toe to the little pinging of the hi-hat. And you're just going to lose your shit.
That's good drag.
It is good drag.
Y'all need to watch Sasha Colby, watch Latrice, watch those that's how you learn to, even if that's not your style of lip sync,
you can learn a lot.
And
from
some
that.
of the best advice I've gotten about lip syncing and understanding stage presence is from those older philosophy of drag about like really embodying the song. I can't remember. I saw it was from a Facebook post of somebody's drag mom that they were like, my drag mom told me, when you're listening to a song, look in the mirror and look at your lips.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Only look at your lips. Then they're like, now look at your whole face. Look at your eyes. Look at how your eyes are moving with your lips. They're like, don't even think about choreography or moving until you have the face down.
I literally just saw a TikTok that was like, if you can't dance and you're a drag performer, moving faster is not going to make it look like you can dance.
I learned that the hard way, and it took me years.
She was like,
and sometimes,
slow it down.
Sometimes I still have to remind myself, be like, you can slow down.
Less movement sometimes is more.
Yeah.
It sounds cliche, but bitch, it works.
Because sometimes,
like if you just stand there and demand their attention, they're going to watch.
Just be more intentional.
It's all... Get out of my head.
This drag is so cool.
Yeah.
There's some
I
cool
love drag.
things. Yeah.
But now, speaking of drag, the thing that inspired our next topic was I discovered from the Bald and the Beautiful the other day that these girls not only are out here getting some facial help with their drags,
not just the face,
filler and lift and tuck. And why are we getting whole talks? And why is that a thing?
Baby, they will inject you wherever you want to be injected.
Why do you want Botox in your asshole?
There actually is a medical reason that some people can.
So it
want
doesn't
to get
sweat?
It.
I mean, I don't
It's
understand.
not about that. Well, maybe that's a perk.
It just stiffens it, right?
And it can help with if the muscle overreacts and won't loosen.
So if you've been fisted too much, you need the Botox to close it back up.
Maybe, but I think some people.
I'm not king shaming.
Well, I think some people that have had like medical trauma or something like that.
Okay, now I get that.
Yeah,
but we know these twinks running over here.
No, the thing is,
whole talks.
The twinks are just getting it.
Their
just
whole
to have
trauma is getting fisted.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. A lot of medical stuff that ends up becoming cosmetic starts with real intentions. So people were getting butthole Botox because
it was medically
necessary. It was needed. Like the muscle,
like Ozempic.
The muscle wasn't reacting properly, and doctors were like, "Oh, we found out if you do
Botox
this,
will work."
Yeah, and then it did. It's kind of crazy how much.
And then some twink found out and was like,
"I can make my butthole prettier." Some doctor was like, "I can get rich off of this,"
and they do.
Yeah.
And they do. God bless.
Yeah.
So that inspired our next segment, which is plastic surgery hot takes.
So obviously we already know you have feelings about.
And I have
butthole Botox.
Discovered a list.
You have a list.
Cosmetic surgeries that I did not know was a thing.
I can't wait to dive into this.
Okay. So in the same realm of Botox and all that, there is a plastic surgery, like it's literally called poker tox, and it's Botox and filler injections to manipulate the facial features of gamblers. So you literally have like a permanent poker face built in.
Isn't that just Botox? That's just Botox.
You just have to get the Botox and then immediately go play poker.
That's called marketing. Again, a plastic surgeon like, I can get rich if I find my niche.
I just have to market it this way, and somebody will come buy it.
Everything's all marketing.
I found this list on a plastic surgeon's website, by the way. So it was like a list of cosmetic surgeries he offered.
Reasons you may need this.
Exactly.
Basically.
Another one was a dimpleplasty. You can get cheek dimples.
Okay. They can give you dimples?
They can give you dimples. So if you don't have dimples.
How do dimples naturally occur? Is it like just where your like muscle and fat sits in your face?
I think so.
Because one side of my face feels like it's more like this side is a little more angular than this side. But I think that's because my jaw's crooked.
Well, this eyebrow is lower than this eyebrow.
Don't talk about my eyebrows like that. I'm very sensitive.
So if I did have plastic surgery.
Now they're level. Yeah. I only need my right eyebrow raised.
This needed to be a video with. That was stupid. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This is absolutely a tin hat conspiracy. Not everyone can raise their eyebrows, right? I can raise my left one really easily, and I fear that I raised it so much that it's just higher than the right one. Like that muscle is just like more taut or whatever.
You just kept looking at people like, bitch, what the fuck?
Exactly. And now my right eye just is a little droopier than the left eye.
Idiot. You fucking idiot. Okay. Well, now it's great to know that I don't have to work out because you can go and get a 6-pack.
Yes.
Put onto your body. Mm-hmm. So now I just need some liposuction.
So you can do the implants,
skin grafting, and then just implants. I'll have my 6-pack.
You can do the implants, but the liposuction has gotten so advanced that they can selectively sculpt. Because this is
shut the fuck up.
Here's the thing: is even if you do work out, some people's their stomach just is genetically predisposed to hold on to fat. A lot of musculature, like if you look muscly versus not muscly, really is a genetic roll of the dice. So some people, even if they are like in the gym 8 days a week, their body just doesn't have that definition programmed.
Right.
So there are people that do have washboard abs, but their body just doesn't show them. So they will still elect to go get the sculpting liposuction. Yeah.
In the same vein as the 6-pack creation, you can also get Beckham pecs, specifically designed to resemble David Beckham's small, asymmetrical, almond-shaped nipples. That's what the description said on the website.
That was really specific. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Almond-shaped nipples.
New drag name. You are welcome.
Welcome. I do love that David Beckham's the blueprint for that.
For the perfect almond-shaped nipples.
He does have great tits. He's a beautiful man. I'll give him that.
Just walk in and be like, I want these tits right here.
I want the Beckham special.
The Beckham special.
Can I come in with someone else's tits? Do you do requests? You know?
This is not Burger King.
For that many thousands of dollars, I better be able to have my tits my way.
So I have heard of this cosmetic procedure before. Yeah. I would not do it. But how do you feel about tongue splitting?
Okay. I am all for body modification. Do whatever you want. As long as again, if you're not hurting nobody, every pot's got a lid.
Right.
It does kind of freak me out. Also, I recently learned, against my will, on TikTok.
I think I saw him. The dude with the split
You
tongue.
can move them independently.
Yes.
And that was something I did not know and did not want to know. I did not know that you could. Listen, the tongue, proportionate to its size, your tongue is one of the strongest muscles.
I'm sure his partner is very happy.
That unfortunately also crossed my mind. But I just kind of forgot that the tongue is basically it's just muscle.
Right.
Just muscle and like veins. Because it needs blood. So like if you split it, I do believe it's a rough healing process.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I could not.
Are 2 more on my list.
Oh, Lord.
There is one that you can literally get a permanent smile lift. Like they will lift. So you always...
See, I've seen 2 horror movies about that. I'm good. I'm great. And I have resting bitch face and I'm not interested.
This last surgery I needed for the pageant on Saturday because I could not fit into a pair of shoes that I really wanted to wear. It is literally called Cinderella surgery, designed to help women fit into designer shoes.
They take off your pinky?
Probably. I don't know.
It didn't shave the whole thing down.
It didn't say how he did it. but that was the description on the website.
That's what Monet Exchange got.
That's how she fits in the heels.
Well, she had like a really bad
a bunion.
Yeah,
sure.
And they had to.
So she had the Bianca Del Rio special.
Bianca Del Rio had hammer toe.
Hammer time.
A different foot surgery.
Do you have any do you know of any wild plastic surgery?
This one is a little more invasive than plastic surgery, but I do have a macabre fascination with the insecure men that get their legs extended.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, baby, I can tell you in depth about the whole surgery. I've read articles about it.
You only get like an inch or two, right?
You can I think it can be up to 3 inches. Every person is different. It depends on they have to do all sorts of like tests about like your bones and like because
imagine doing all that work and you're still 5'10".
Yes. That's the thing. There are guys that come in and they do only get like an inch, and if you start at like 5'2", it's like you pay, and it's not covered by any insurance. You're paying.
I'm glad
it's like $70,000. And okay, so they put
that's gender reaffirming care.
It is.
Hello.
They put a magnetic rod. They break your leg.
No.
They break your leg.
Absolutely
they put a magnetic rod in there that is controlled by an app on your phone. They put all that shit in there, and then you can't walk for like a week, and then you immediately go into physical therapy. And then you have to use the app to, over the course of like 6 or 8 months, move the magnets. You're stretching your legs slowly while your bone is healing around the rod.
No, thank you.
When it's done, they come in, they take the rod out.
No, thank you.
You don't get to keep the rod because
they
reuse them.
They reuse the rods.
Yeah, because it's like a magnetic. It's proprietary.
So somebody else's rod could be in me.
Yeah. It's baby. You've had somebody else's rod in you before. Don't act surprised.
I am.
But no, yeah. So they prefer to do it in the what is this called? The shin, like the leg, the bottom leg, not the big one. What's this called? I didn't do well in anatomy.
I done forgot.
The lower leg.
Fibia,
they prefer to do the lower leg. They will do the bigger. This leg, your thigh bone is really hard to break
because it's one of the
and
ones.
It is like other than like your hip, like I think it's like the thickest, like the densest. So they don't like to do that one. There are only a few cases of people that have done both make themselves taller.
What?
Here is the problem with this: you look like Slender Man because it only makes your legs longer. It doesn't do shit to your torso or your arms. You know what I mean? So like,
what if they're like
you just all leg, no torso?
But what if
you still
like
have your 5'4" torso?
That cute pity I saw the other day that was like a full-bodied pit bull dog, but with these tiny little dots in legs.
Yeah.
So maybe they have a full-size torso. They just need their legs a little longer.
Maybe.
And they just
I
proportionizing.
don't know. It is.
Hey, straight men, that's gender affirming care. You're welcome.
It is absolutely wild that surgery, and like I told you earlier, everything comes from like an actual medical need. So I do believe it was a procedure that was developed for people that have like, because there are some people that are just born with like a genetic, like their leg, one leg is shorter. You can fix it, or like obviously like some sort of injury from like being in the military or like a work accident, stuff like that. A lot of those surgeries like that, but now it's a thing.
Freak accidents,
and it's never like the kind of people that get this surgery are like just normal ass people. Like they're like, I just have like an office job. What's shady
crazy.
though? Some of the guys that do it, they're influencers, and what they do is they just disappear for like 3 months and then inexplicably come back taller. And when I read a couple like expose, like big in-depth articles about like the doctors that do it and some of the patients refused to give their names or say what because they wanted to protect their identity because they were influencers or actors or people that they didn't want people to know that they were.
What was happening in your daily life that led you down that rabbit hole of discovery that day?
Oh, it was just in the Apple News app, baby. I'm an Apple
So
News
one
Plus
news
subscriber.
article is all it took for you to.
Well, no,
because
because every time I see an article about, I read like 2 years ago, I read an article about it, and now every time I see one, I'm like, what's the tea? What are people talking about? I don't know. It's just fascinating that there's people that are willing to have their legs broken and then magnetically stretched.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Would you like to take a break?
Yeah, we can take a break.
It's after noon, so I feel like we could go make a beverage if we wanted to.
I think we could. I think now that I've had a chicken leg and a chicken leg and a pinwheel, I could have a beverage.
All right, listeners, we'll be right back after this break. And we're going to work and tuck some makeup trends.
Oh, God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not just drag, all beauty.
All beauty.
Yeah. You're not safe.
We're coming for all of you.
Oh, Lord.
Tired of boring design that makes you want to vomit? Then you need Creative Vomit Studio, your one-stop shop for eye-popping design that'll make your brand shine. Need a killer logo? A website graphic that slays? Headshots that scream professional? Creative Vomit has you covered. And hey, seniors, don't forget those all-important senior portraits. Let Ian capture your uniqueness. Visit creativevomit.studio to schedule your consultation and unleash your creative genius. Creative Vomit Studio, design that's anything but bland.
I hope somebody shows up because
Me too. I got 18 burgers in there to cook up.
I'll eat like one of them.
And
maybe two.
And 16 hot dogs.
Not 16 hot dogs.
It came
That
in a pack of
drag name.
16. 16 hot dogs.
16 hot
Welcome
dogs.
to the stage. 16
Yeah.
hot dogs.
It's just the Beyonce song 16 Carriages with like a badly, like a
16
dove saying,
hot
dogs.
dogs.
Before we,
You fucking
hey,
idiot.
we're back from our break.
Hey, y'all.
Before
We've
we
got
get
liquor
into
now.
cosmeceuticals, I did want to, obviously, I don't think you want to get your legs lengthened or whatever, but is there a plastic surgery, like a minor, major, is there a procedure you've ever considered?
I am a big old titty baby when it comes to surgeries.
Yeah.
Like, surgeries scare me. I have asthma, so going under scares me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything that I'm just like dying to have done.
I think that's a good. A lot of people that they start, they don't stop.
That's what I hear.
And also,
like, I don't want filler in my face because I know it eventually is going to move somewhere else and harden.
Exactly.
I don't want that.
Also, a lot of like Botox, you have to keep getting it.
Right.
So you're basically signing up for like
A
more
lifelong maintenance commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And then my lips are fine. I don't need any lip filler. Like, if I need to look pretty, I'll just put on makeup. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's fine.
Exactly. The only thing I've ever considered is, and honestly, I don't even know if this would be cosmetic in the sense that I have a severely deviated septum, so 90% of my.
I feel like that's just to help you breathe.
That's the thing is 90% of my right nostril is blocked by scar tissue, so I can't really use my right nostril. So like I would consider they do have obviously you could do rhinoplasty like a traditional nose job, but they do have something called septoplasty, which is where they don't really correct anything on the outside. They just go in and work on the nostrils.
I have had a septoplasty because
Yeah.
on my second sinus surgery.
Yeah.
But yes, we are back from our break. And we're going to do some quick work it or tuck it's because we've got a barbecue to get to, honey.
Absolutely.
We've got some bitches coming over to
Also,
the
we
house.
talked so much at the beginning about dolphins and
Bullshit.
things. That's
Our work it or tuck it's, like we said earlier, were some makeup work it or tuck it's.
Lordy. These are all off the cuff. I'm just going to be coming up with them.
Oh, okay.
No
you want me to
notes.
go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Work it or tuck it. Thin eyebrows. Are they back? Are they coming back? Do you want them to come back? How do we feel? Thin 90s eyebrows.
If they fit your like face shape and that's what you want, I guess work it.
Y'all,
eyebrows are
just
so subjective.
Learn from our mothers' experiences. Don't go plucking that
You
shit.
gotta be
'cause
careful
it won't
with the
come
plucking.
back.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah.
If you want thin eyebrows, honestly,
Yeah.
just shave it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Go get them little eyebrow
Yeah.
razors.
Yeah.
Just give it a little shave.
Yeah.
See if it's for you. And if it's not, let it grow back.
Yeah.
Because if you start plucking that shit away,
it's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
It's coming back real weird. Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with my eyebrows because they've been thinning because
blonde.
of the drag. And mine
so.
were blonde. And then they're thinning and they are, I don't know. It's weird. Well, now I've shaved half of them off. Let me tell you what. When we went to the Renaissance Fair a weekend or two ago, my dad looked at me. Like, I gave him a little hug, greeted me. He was like, "What did you do to your eyebrows?" And I was like, "John, I shaved off half my eyebrow like 6 months ago." And I see you at least once a month.
Poor dad.
Like, you took 6 months to notice? It took Sydney a week to notice.
And nobody knows because
my
so
my tails were so thin already
nobody,
that like girl, nobody it looked the same.
I would like to try a thin brow in drag and just see what she's looking like. But that means I've got to glue my natural brows down. Because like this
I don't
is
know
real
if I've
bushy
ever done
right
like
here,
that thin. Well, the Y2K show's coming up, so you gotta.
I'll pull out a thin brow for Saturday, maybe.
Some powder blue, icy blue eyeshadow.
Well,
what
let's
earth?
Let's.
Hello.
It was the Coffee Mafia phone, everybody. But yeah, work at thin brows.
Yeah, it could be cute. It could be cute. Honestly, every time I get in drag, I'd think about just shaving them all off entirely.
Same.
But I do like my little.
I like a little nub.
A little nub. Yeah.
I might make my nub smaller.
It depends on how much attention I'm paying when I shape
also
them up.
Also a true statement.
Sometimes they are a little nubbier because
am I looking at a mirror or am I just?
Yeah, yeah. How behind am I in my get ready routine? Yeah,
that part. Honestly,
love that. Oh my goodness. I think this is what inspired this. We talked about this at trivia, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But Worker to Tuck It wearing big old drag lashes, just day to day, just running your errands at the Walmart.
Why are you in the Kroger with double stacked 301s?
Why,
I saw this white girl.
Why are we in the intersection and I can see you 2 cars? I can see your lashes 2 cars away.
She was walking through Kroger and I literally had to stop and do a double take because I was like, is something on her face?
Yeah.
And it was just her lashes. And I was like, girl,
honestly,
who told you that looked good?
It's like, kind of a diva moment, but also
it's not when all you have on are the lashes.
That's the problem.
When she rolled up in there in her tennis skirt and her Lululemon top, and then had on not a stitch of makeup.
Yeah.
With those big ass lashes.
I do think,
girl, if you're gonna put those big ass lashes on your face, at least throw on some blush, a shimmer eyelid, something. I don't know.
I do think anytime. Obviously, if you get like the lash extensions or whatever, it looks sometimes if it's a little much, it does look crazy without the mug.
No, honestly, work it to some eyelash extensions that are bigger than,
live your fantasy, I guess.
But just know that, honey, you are in drags.
It is. I will listen.
You are in full how
I
drags.
do think there is a difference between
6 pairs of 301s stacked on your face,
which is more than I wear in drag. And y'all, my eye makeup is big. I have 3 lashes on each eye, but it's because they're not glued to my actual lash line. They're glued to my crease. Yeah,
that's how I used
my real
to do
crease,
it.
not my perceived.
When
crease.
I wore 301s, that's how I used to do it. Now I wear a dainty wispy lash.
Bring back drag makeup. Just kidding.
Well, that's my next work.
Putting you in my makeup would be.
Can we do that one day?
We should
swap.
We should
swap. I'll do yours.
Oh
you do mine.
My god, that would be
insane.
Insane.
It's coming back a little bit. I think.
Oh no.
The 2016 full face of makeup,
full glam,
full glam every day.
Yeah,
like
cut crease, full beat, tart. Shape tape.
You got glue on your eyelid for glitter. Like, work it or tuck it.
Work it. Work it. Bring back drag.
But if you bring back that makeup, please also bring back skincare. Because your skin is going to be screaming.
You're doing drag every day, and it is so bad for your skin.
Like, your skin is going to be dry. It's going to need all the moisture. Like, I'm here for you if you want to bring that fantasy back.
Yeah.
But can we not bring back the block brow? Can we leave that in 2016?
No, I think brow blindness is going away.
I'm okay with the full glam, full beat. Let's get a brow that matches our face.
I am glad that people want to wear like color on their face again. When it was all
nudes
beige,
and smoky eyes,
beige, dewy,
yes, dewy,
a gloss.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to be matte and flat.
Yeah. Yes. 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 That's drag, baby. Not a single part of me should be dewy. I should look like a painting. Absolutely.
Work it.
Dewy, I don't know her. I don't know her.
You fucking
no.
idiot.
My face is sparkly where I put my highlighter and nowhere else.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
highlighter.
Yeah.
Work it highlighter.
Work it highlighter. Bring back highlighter.
What's your next one? Off the cuff. Do you have one? Highlighter?
Bring back, yeah. No, just kidding. Oh, I'm trying to think. Okay. It's summertime. So this is the thing I'm going to start seeing more of. Work it or check it. We'll do, this is a 2-for-1 because it's sort of the same thing. The people that use like self-tanner to give themselves natural contour highlight. They put on the tanning oil and then they give themselves permanent contour.
Tuck it.
And
you look so dumb.
In the same vein, there are people that take that to give themselves fake freckles, and they usually do not look like freckle size.
Shut the
or they
fuck
look
up.
They look unnatural because
because it's
freckles,
spray tan.
Yes. But honestly, work it spray tan in terms of if you do it right, it's definitely healthier than a real tan.
Now, if you do the spray tan professionally, work it.
Yeah.
But if you're in there with some self tanner kit and you're trying to
in the mirror trying to
your
give yourself
cheek
contour.
No, baby.
Yeah.
Don't, That's not going to come out how you think it's going to come out.
Gonna
And then it's
weird...
stuck.
Yes.
You can't blend
Yeah.
it away.
Yeah.
You can't, it's there.
Just put on real contour.
Just put contour on, which is my next work it or tuck
God.
it. Work it or tuck it. Heavy duty contour. Like, just.
In the real world?
In the real world.
I do think we have moved, obviously, I just said work it to like doing full drag, full beat, if you want to do that. But I do believe you need to think about contour. But I
think people have learned the difference between contour and bronzer.
Yes.
And now I think they're moving from contour to bronzer.
Yeah.
And it's starting to look better.
You can use like a teeny bit of bronzer or like your blush can also sort of shape your face in a way.
Bring back blush, please.
Honestly, yeah.
Put blush on your face every day before you walk out the door.
Yeah.
You can even take the Clinique Dark Honey Lip Balm.
Rub
a little bit of that on your cheek, and there is your natural rosacea for the day.
In fact, some of those products are 3-in-1. You can put them on your lip, on your cheek, and then put them on your lid.
Yes.
Ew.
Tuck it to that heavy contour during the day. I'm glad.
It's just really...
Like we said, people have learned to go towards the bronzer.
Just a teeny bit of bronzer, a little bit of blush.
Bronzer can do great things for your entire face.
Yeah.
Because you can use bronzer to contour with, and then you can also use bronzer as eyeshadow.
Yep.
Just give you a quick little smoky look and go about your day.
That's what you need to do day to day. You just need a teensy bit of dimension.
100%.
Yeah.
We have been graced not with one, but with 2 voice memos.
It only took 14 episodes.
It only took 14 episodes. But thank you so much.
I'm so excited.
To Nancy and Violet for sending in a couple of voice memos here. Nancy was our first one, so I'm going to see if I can play it. I had to put the headphones on to see if it comes through the pod.
Hello, beautiful people. I just want to be the one to pop the voice message cherry. I want to say I love you so much. I don't know how many times I've recorded this, but I just want it to be perfect. And I can't wait to see you guys either at the next show or when I listen to the next podcast. Everything you guys do is amazing and uplifting, and I can't see my world without either one of you.
So sweet.
That's so adorable.
So sweet.
Thank you, Nancy.
If you knew how many times we re-recorded things,
Honey,
you would,
There are moments where we literally go, blah, 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 blah. Let's try that again. Boom.
And sometimes it's not try it again. It's try it 4 or 5 times.
Oh, God.
And it'll be something simple like, and I'm Skittles. And it just doesn't.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. But yes, thank you so, so much.
We love you
Fancy
so much.
Nan,
It's
for
always a
popping our
treat to
cherry.
see you at the shows.
Now let me pull up Violet's voice memo. Violet's voice memo is a little bit longer.
Uh-oh.
So I might copy, cut, paste, chop, all that fun stuff. But Violet did have was asking for a little bit of advice.
Oh.
So I'm gonna let it play, and then I might pause it at a certain point, and we'll get to some advice. But I think it's a 2-parter if I remember correctly from listening earlier.
Hi girls, it's Violet Crime, Dr. Crime if you're nasty, and I had a question for y'all. So, as a lot of people know, I'm about to start medical school, and I have actually kept my drag career a secret from my medical school through my admissions process and interview process, and I've kept all of my accounts very, very separate for that reason. And I was wondering what y'all think about letting your profession know about drag versus keeping it a secret. My logic was that
I'm just going to pause it right there. Not that her logic isn't. I know, buy headphones. Not that her logic isn't important, but for time's sake, I'm just going to pause it right there. So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Well, I do have
you have your own.
I have
business,
a unique perspective.
So, yeah.
I did used to work for Cracker Barrel. And obviously Cracker Barrel is a huge corporation. So like obviously I didn't know anybody from corporate. Corporate didn't know who I was. I was the number 1560665. I still
wow. That, ladies and gentlemen, is trauma.
You want to know what's crazy? If I got rehired, they would bring my number back. It doesn't go away.
That's even crazier.
Did you know your driver's license number does that too? When my dad moved back to Alabama, they gave him back his original driver's license number.
That's insane.
Yeah, from when he went to college here. Isn't that crazy?
At least he didn't have to memorize a new number.
Well, only if you're psycho enough to remember your driver's license number, which I won't be repeating on the air, but I do have memorized.
Right.
Anyways, when I worked for Cracker Barrel, my managers did know, and so did all my coworkers. But I also wasn't like really. I was just a server. I wasn't important or whatever. I do think in the corporate world and in the the professionals world, it can be a little different.
I would have to say yes. It can be different.
It really does depend on who you're working for. I will say at the coffee shop, we blanket across the board. I don't require doctor's notes for anything, for any absences, because that would require my employees to spend money they probably don't have to be told that they have the sniffles. So we don't require doctor's notes. I also don't even really want to know what they're requesting time off for. I don't need to know. If anybody died, I don't need to know whose birthday it is. I don't need to know what trip you're going on.
Just tell me you're not going to be here. That's all I need.
Yeah. And I will say, obviously, I'm friends with my employees. I work closely with them both at the shop and in doing drag and other community stuff. So I usually do know where they're going. Yeah. But as a blanket policy, I don't need to know. I don't want to know. Yeah. If I can give you the time off, I'm going to give you the time off.
Right.
I don't think your job should be all up in your business like that.
But sadly, sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a perfect example of that, especially with the job that I used to have, being a former middle school educator. It wasn't, my boss knew from the get-go that I was a drag queen.
Yeah.
Not that, because I didn't hide it from anybody. Yeah. I'm very out there with my drag.
And that's also a risk that I know that you felt comfortable to take, but not everyone does. And that's something that even
and that's where I was getting to.
We've discussed this before, that we both try really hard to live really authentically, not just in our personal and professional lives.
Right.
We're publicly and visibly queer, which does come sometimes with pushback, consequences, and sometimes a sense of what's the opposite of safety? Not danger, but sometimes there is a risk.
Just trepidation.
Yes.
Yeah.
To just being in the world.
Yeah. But I would say that it's nobody's business right now.
Yeah.
I would say move down there, get a feel for the place, pick up everybody's vibes.
Yeah.
See who's cool and who's not, because sadly, sometimes in this world, all it takes is one person who has enough connection and enough money, and you're gone.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen with me.
Yeah.
I left on my own accord, as we all know, no matter what narrative they try to spin.
And had made that decision a year before.
And was already out the door, honey.
Yeah.
I had literally been packing my classroom up all year long. Once I was done with it and didn't need it anymore, I took it to the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, but sometimes people don't have your best intentions at heart or in mind, and they can use things like being a drag entertainer, unfortunately, to your detriment. Because in today's political society, as we know, trans people and drag queens are just the most dangerous thing to our society. And I would hate for somebody to learn that information about you and then be able to turn around and use it against you. Yeah. Not that you're doing anything wrong.
Because you're not.
Because you're not. But some people are just rude that way.
Yeah.
So I would say if you still want to perform as Violet Crime, Bebop's is a fantastic place to make that happen.
Yeah.
There are a couple of places in Mississippi as well that are within a close driving distance you can go to if you don't want to be in the same city that you're working in or something like that. So I would say just keep it on the low for the moment.
Yeah.
And then if the time feels right and if you feel like you trust these individuals, then boom. You can let them know about Violet.
A bit of advice on the separation, because I already do this with my personal and professional life, both my drag professional and with the coffee shop. I have separate contact information for everything.
That's smart too.
And I will say
it doesn't cross over.
The line has gotten blurred a little bit the longer I do this. And also I don't have a drag Facebook because
it's too much.
I can't have another account. But I do understand, like, if you want that separation, have the drag Facebook. But I have a drag Instagram. I have an email address that's used just for the drag. I have an email address that's used just for the coffee shop. And in fact, I went full in like a year or two ago. My personal Instagram has actually been private for a minute now, just because I used to want to be like an influencer, and I gave up on that. And I decided if people wanted to keep up with what I'm doing is the drag in the coffee shop.
Follow that.
They can follow the drag in the coffee shop. I don't want to feel like people are watching my personal account. And I absolutely, this is going to sound a little paranoid. I do know that there are people that don't like me and that are using the fact that I do drag and am queer as a reason to perhaps say bad things about the coffee shop or what I'm trying to do. And yes, the coffee shop and I, obviously, there's a lot of overlap. But what I'm doing in my personal life has nothing to do with the coffee shop.
100%.
And the coffee shop's primary goal has always been coffee and community.
I think that's why my boss didn't care that I was a drag queen, because it never affected me being at school and teaching.
Yeah.
Like, there was never an issue whatsoever where drag and my professional life crossed each other.
Because it shouldn't.
And there was never a moment that I let drag interfere with my professional life.
Yeah.
There were times where I was stretched thin because I was doing both at once.
Yeah.
And I was very tired.
Yep.
But it was still rewarding because it's what I wanted to do, you know? So.
Because if you were to look at it in any other way, if you were a teacher or a doctor and you also did like an adult soccer league or something,
right.
You could also be tired and busy, you know? Or like, even if you just have like children. My parents were tired and busy having 3 kids. When my dad remarried, we had 5 kids.
That's the whole sermon right there.
Yeah. And nobody ever tried to tell my dad he couldn't do his job because he had 5 kids.
Right. So that's our advice for your voice memo. I'm going to look, because I know there's a second part of this. So let me look real quick.
Who gets to know and that sort of thing. Anyway, love y'all to death. My favorite Pop-Tart flavor is cinnamon sugar, and I can only eat it as a dessert. And if I eat more than one little individual Pop-Tart, I will get sick. Not saying that I can't eat it, because I will, but I should not. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks.
The brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart is really good.
It is.
It's probably my go-to because it's easy to get really anywhere. It's always good.
It's always a hit.
It is. It's one Pop-Tart.
But thank you, Fancy Nan and Violet, for our voice memos.
Can't eat 2 Pop-Tarts. That's acid reflux.
We do have a couple of comments.
Maybe I've got GERD.
That's what it is. GERD.
Look at me
gout.
like that.
Here we
We
go.
have comments too?
Oh, yes, of course.
They like us. They really like us.
So we have 3 comments from our Bad Fag episode, which I was very worried
glad
that the
didn't get
title
taken
was
down.
going to get taken down. I was like, I'm going for it. Anyway, Eat My Lime says, why are you cussing at me? Tore me up. When you were talking about... Why are you cussing at me?
Oh, anyway, my God.
And then I knew Sydney was going to say this. Where did you come from? Where did you go? I did not know you were Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, I should have opened the episode with it, but we got distracted. I have to open my messages from Sydney. So this is a direct message from Sydney.
Oh, God.
After she listened to the episode. I don't think this might have been the last episode where we talked about Pop-Tarts. She said, I'm reading this verbatim. Bitch, I do not eat strawberry unfrosted Pop-Tarts. No, ma'am, Pam. They have frosting. I will not be eating no damn dry-ass Pop-Tart. Who do you think I am?
So now you have to issue Sydney an apology.
I would like to issue a retraction. I incorrectly
We don't need to get sued.
I incorrectly stated that Sydney ate unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Holy shit.
The statement corrected as follows is that Sydney's favorite Pop-Tart is a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart.
I'm so dead.
For more information, you can go to @MixedMatchPodcast on all social media.
Oh, God, I cannot breathe.
She called me. She texted me that, but she called me and she said absolutely incorrect. Like she was upset. Defamation.
So Bree said, on the same vein that we were all in, Bree said, if you're having a conversation on your FaceTime or whatever in public around me, we are all having a conversation.
Honestly, yeah.
My ADHD will not allow me to not butt in and make commentary.
And if you complain about lack of privacy, take it off speakerphone, bitch. Absolutely wild.
Oh my God.
I told you before we were recording. Last night I saw Sinners and there was a woman at the front of the theater. And this is the same kind of people that are on the FaceTime in the Walmart. She was at the theater and she was clapping in reaction to the movie, which is fine. You're allowed to clap, you're allowed to whoop, but she just kept clapping and
having
hollering.
A conversation with herself.
And then she turned around because she was at the very front of the theater. She turned around to look at everyone in the theater in the dark, and she said, "I'm sorry, it's just that good."
Oh my
Turned
God.
back around and kept clapping. And then she just, for another 10 minutes, kept intermittently clapping. And then somebody went and told somebody.
Tattled.
And she got asked to leave the theater. And on the way out, she said, I was the only one clapping. And we all clapped as she left the theater.
So I'm so glad you told me that story because Eli told me a story. And I've been meaning to share this with you. And I just keep forgetting. But this reminds me of when Eli went to New York to see Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there watching it, and there was some woman from Brooklyn beside him on her phone at the beginning, like,
on your phone.
Yeah, I'm ready to see the show, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Blah. And then she had friends there with her also, so, just being loud, which is fine. The show hasn't started yet. And so first act starts, it's over, intermission pops up, everybody's getting up, going to eat, whatever. Her friend turns to her and says, well, what do you think so far? And the lady goes, well, it would be great if I could see it, but there's this giraffe in front of me and I just can't see a thing.
Oh,
some tall girl was sitting in front of her. And she said this out loud. Everybody could hear her. And so the girl turns around and looks, and Eli and the girl make eye contact. And Eli is like, I am not with her. I don't know this woman. I am so sorry she said that. The girl gets up and goes to an usher. The usher changes the tall girl's seat closer down front to an orchestra so she could see better.
Wild.
I was like, so now every time I can't see anything, I'm like, this giraffe in front of me.
It's funny that when people complain like that, usually the person that didn't do anything wrong is that's who gets bumped to first class on the plane. That's who.
That's how you hear those stories.
That is crazy.
I just had to share that with you before we left. Because
when I went to see Hadestown at the Gouge, that is the most. That crowd had the most phone calls and text message and alarm noises of any theatrical production I have seen in the last decade.
We had
one of our absolutely unprofessional.
One of our
turn your damn phone off.
This woman's phone rang 3 times, 3 separate times. It rang, She silenced it, caught it, was like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
And then I thought she like put it on silent. No.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, the bitch rang again. I can understand once or twice, but thrice?
Yeah.
You let that bitch ring 3 times before you turned it off?
Yeah. Turn it off. Turn it completely off.
And Bruce had already said at the beginning he literally said, take your phones out, turn it on silent. Like, literally, anyway. Theater etiquette is dead.
So it's Friday. Tonight you can come to Coffee Mafia from 6 to 9 for a queer game night. Bring a board game, play a board game, meet some people, and then save some of that energy for Saturday because this isn't a Pride event. But as we said earlier, we've got Y2 Gay at Avondale.
It's going to be
at 10.
so much fun.
That's any music from 1995 to 2005. So throw it back. And then actual Pride Week starts on Monday. Go to prideontheplains.com or go to the Pride on the Plains on Facebook and Instagram for all these posters. But yes, Monday, karaoke. Tuesday, bingo at Sante, downtown Opelika. Wednesday, back at Avondale for trivia. We will be hosting it.
Hello.
Thursday, Fresh Faces Open Stage, already cast. Poster will hopefully come out soon. I don't know.
We'll make it happen.
Tickets available at creativevomit.studio/events. I'm super excited for that one. Friday, obviously, parade. Downtown Opelika. Line up at 4:30ish. Parade at 5:30, 6. I don't remember.
Something like that.
Again, check on the Pride on the Plains website.
I think they do it right before the sun sets so they can get that good little twilight and still have daylight and all that.
So come to the parade, downtown Opelika. Same route it always is. They only got one parade route.
They really do. They really do.
Well, they have 2 now because they have when they do Snopelika.
Well, they have
turn the
they have the
court
one for the city functions.
Yeah.
That's their city parade route. And then if anybody else wants to do a parade route, you have an alternate parade route.
Yeah, love it.
That everybody
same
else
route.
does.
Go find your same spot or whatever. And then go home, take a nap. We'll see you for the parade after party at Avondale. Showtime at 10. Get there early. It's gonna fill up.
It's gonna fill up. We're gonna have we're gonna have a line out the door.
Yeah, it's gonna be no cover. But if you can't get into Avondale, you can't get in. It's small, baby. So get there.
I'm probably have people at the top of the stairs.
We should probably get there at 8, not 8:30.
Clicking. Yeah, I'm gonna get there early. Yeah.
So I need to get.
I may just leave the parade and go right to the.
Honestly, because the parade will be like an hour.
Yeah,
and then traffic.
Yeah.
Good
probably
thing
grab food and go. Yeah.
Change my outfit.
That's why I did the parade after party and not the Pride after party. Because as soon as I get done hosting Pride Fest, baby,
it's all coming off. I'm DJing the after party out of drag. Spoilers.
I'm coming out of drag.
I'll be cute.
In a muumuu.
I'll be cute, but I'm gonna be out of drag. Anyways, after party with special guests Christina Leon and Utoya Avaze Leon. It's her birthday month. I'm having a stroke. It's her birthday month. It won't be in June, but May's her birthday month. So bring some extra dollars and tip her. Then obviously Saturday, June 7th.
Hell yeah.
We'll be at Kiesel Park from noon to 6 for Pride Fest. Kalana and I are hosting the Pride stage.
You're welcome.
But there's also going to be probably 24 different vendors.
Yeah.
It'll be artisans. It'll be
food trucks.
It'll be art, food, snacks,
bounce houses
drinks
for the kids.
Yeah, bounce
Pride
houses.
Fest is a family-friendly activity. All ages are welcome.
And it's free to attend. You can just come watch the drag. There's drag, there's musicians, there's a DJ set. There's so many fun. Just come hang out,
Special guest Corey King from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Magami from RuPaul's Drag Race. Lala Ree from RuPaul's Drag Race.
And then Tucker A. Alexander from
Atlanta,
Georgia.
Who started drag here in Auburn, by the way.
Right here.
And then Alabama Delight, Twat Wyland.
Period.
Oh.
So y'all come out and see us. There are a couple of more Pride Fest in the state of Alabama that I want to help plug real quick.
Absolutely.
On Sunday, June the 1st in Prattville, they are having their second annual Pride Festival. I don't know locations. I think the time is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But just go search up Prattville Pride on the Facebook or Instagram and you'll be able to catch out their times and everything like that. I don't think they're having a parade, but I do think they're having a festival.
Not every city can do a parade.
And then on Saturday, June the 14th, you can catch me in Central Alabama Pride's parade.
Oh.
I'm going to be up in there with my new crown on,
Wow.
And then Sunday, June 15th is the Central Alabama Pride Festival. I don't remember who the headliners are because I'm not a title holder there, but I go on at 4 o'clock. So I'll see you at 4 o'clock on Sunday, June 15th.
Come early because I think Fruit Bat is also in Central Alabama Pride.
Hell yeah,
which
Fruit
is
Bat,
even better now that
we're both title holders.
Well, they're recently they did the open registration. So now, are they going to have to perform twice? Or are they just going to bump them?
I'm sure there's more Pride stuff going on throughout the state. That's all I have on my calendar.
And then you've also got like Druid City is in September.
Druid City will be in September,
There's so many. And then Atlanta Pride's in October.
That's episode 15. Thanks for hanging out with us for 15 episodes.
How exciting.
Thank you for our voice memos.
I know. I'm so happy.
excited.
So send us more.
We'll probably have 2 more episodes.
1 or 2. We'll got to talk about Pride.
At least one more episode.
We got to wrap up Pride.
So you at least got 1 more episode.
Oh, we'll do 1 more, and then we've been talking about doing a cutting room floor episode with all of the things that didn't make it to the final edit. So
I may have to do 2 cutting room floor episodes to fill up some space.
Honestly, last episode was long enough. That's that's another whole episode.
I still all those books that we talked about that
baby,
I haven't.
We got to start a book club.
Yeah, we got to start a book club. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're gonna go grill some hamburgers.
I gotta go get in the pool. It's warm.
Hang out by the pool, baby.
We'll see you at all the Pride events, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks when we talk about all the Pride events that you were already at.
Absolutely.
And you can see us hosting 8 different things in the next month.
And then you will not see me in July.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, I hate it. You might see me in July, but it's against my will. Bye.